might have Flap and the rich lady under your spell, but it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
Hey everyone, I want to show off a Genesys Alt Machine deck that I've been labbing up. It's very experimental, but it's been working out so far, so I decided to make a video about it, show off the combos, explain the deck building decisions. This is my first time doing this kind of video, so I'm not sure how it'll go. The deck is premised around the Genesys exclusive trick of Power Tool Dragon being able to crypt as such Premature Burial from the deck, potentially multiple times a turn. With this, it can Synchro climb using Karakuris to end on a board state of Karakuri Brave and Power Tool Braver Dragon, with Brave as a crypt spells making all monsters untargetable, and Life Extreme also synergizing with Karakuri Gamma to be a quick play pop on your opponent's turn. Getting to this combo usually requires at least 2 cards, ideally Revolution Synchron. To do this consistently, I'm using Up Machine synergies in Machina, Infinitrack, and Vonuself to work around Interruption, and potentially expand with cards like Therion Regulus, Machina Citadel, and Sphinx Of The Cycle, or expand with end boards like Psychic End Punisher and Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. So the basic combo is you want to have a level 4 out, any level 4, and Revolution Synchron out or in hand. That lets you make Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool Dragon lets you get Premature Burial. You'll use that later. Resurrect Revolution Synchron. Use them to go into Karakuri level 8. All the Karakuri Synchros summon a Karakuri monster. It will always be Gamma, who is a level 1 tuner with a effect from the graveyard that'll be coming up later. From here, you want to use Premature Burial on Power Tool Dragon again. That's not a hard once per turn, so get another card. Hopefully, a Premature Burial. In this case, it's a Crypt spell. Crypt spells are not very useful in hand because you'll be sorting them out later anyway. Again, going to level 8 Karakuri. Both of these, when they see a Karakuri rotate, they draw a card. So using the Gamma in the graveyard, there's an easy extra 2 cards. Synchro climb into Karakuri level 9, so you can climb into Braver Dragon. Braver Dragon equips 3 spells from the deck. In this specific case, we want Sword of Rapturous, prevents the equipped monster from being targeted. Metal Silver Armor prevents the opponent from targeting any other monster, including their own. That includes their own. They cannot target their own monsters, including in the graveyard. The 2 combined means that all monster targeting effects are turned off for your opponent. Life Extreme is just a generic thought card. It destroys a card whenever it sees something rotate. Also adds effectively 1500 attack. And that is the basic combo. So you have Gamma in the graveyard. This can rotate a Karakuri at any time. When Barebo rotates, that's a quick play banish. As Life Extreme will also see that, and that's a quick play destruction. And finally, Power Tool Braver can discard one of the equips to negate an opponent's monster. So that's 3 points of negation and target immunity for your monsters. And Karakuri, once rotated, will offer battle protection. Okay, now I'll go over how Sphinx of the Cycle fits into the combo, as well as demonstrate how the end board can be extended. Sphinx of the Cycle can summon itself when something rotates, or if it's already on the field, it can return a card to the hand. You usually want to be using it on Premature Burial. It can also return opponent's cards to the hand if they have any. Start by making the usual Power Tool Dragon combo as normal, and we will eventually want to be summoning Sphinx of the Cycle once Gamma rotates. So here we have the normal 2 level 8 Karakuri setup. You rotate Gamma, and that lets us summon Sphinx of the Cycle by banishing a card from the graveyard. In this particular case, we'll always have a Premature Burial, so it's already set up. From here, you continue on as normal, creating the level 9 Karakuri. The Paper Dragon is a normal end board. If we have no other ways to summon cards, that is the end of the board. If we have Premature Burial, we can use it on Revolution Synchron. And from here, we can use Power Tool Braver Dragon's effect to rotate a card. Do not rotate Sphinx of the Cycle. That does not work. It has to be another card. We rotate Revolution Synchron. Sphinx of the Cycle sees it and returns a card to the hand. We're returning Premature Burial. We can now make Psychic End Punisher. And then we can use Premature Burial to return Sphinx of the Cycle to the field, where it can either be it can be used on your opponent's turn once Gamma rotates something on your board to either return one of their cards to the hand, or it can turn Premature Burial back to the hand so you can resurrect something when it's back on your turn. Okay, final combo to show off, Vonus Selves interacting with Revolution Synchron. Vonus Self, you can think of them like a triple summon, with the last card in the chain being that one that sends a monster to the graveyard. We'll be doing that to send Sphinx of the Cycle out, even if you haven't drawn it. Between that and the triple monster reborn, we'll end up with a fairly large end board, given just 2 cards. In this case, you want to start with a level 4 as normal. You can use Flourishing Hills if you don't have another one. Continue the combo as normal, but instead of using the Premature Burial to resurrect monsters, you should be using your spare Vonus Elves. The point of that is so that we eventually get to Vonus of the Awakening Forest. This is the card that sends Sphinx to the graveyard. Since we want to have a Sphinx out before Sphinx in the graveyard before we rotate Karakuri, we will be using Vonus of the Awakening Forest to get out Revolution Synchron. They'll be used later on in the combo. Since we're back here with the 2 level 8 Karakuris, now we rotate Gamma. Before we rotate Gamma, you can use the Premature Burial on Sphinx of the Cycle. It's not necessary unless you have no spells in the graveyard like here. Sphinx of the Cycle will be returning Premature Burial as part of this rotation fiesta, as well as the usual draw too. From here we can make Psychic End Punisher. Once Sphinx has used its once per turn cycle, you can send it to the graveyard. Again, Sphinx is not a hard once per turn, so yeah, I'll be coming back later anyway. And here, as you can see, we have the level 9 Karakuri, we have the Premature Dragon. There's a normal combo. Equip. So from here, we can consider this the end board. We have the Premature Dragon and Braver as normal, but we also have Psychic End Punisher and Sphinx of the Cycle out as well. Still 2-card combo. Now it's got 4 points of interaction and Psychic End Punisher, while having below 8,000 life points. Now I'll go through some of the less obvious placeholder interactions that results in the deck having such a high consistency. In this case, we have no Revolution and Synchron in hand. This looks like a dead combo if you're not experienced. But in this case, we can convert the Machina Gear Frame into a Revolution Synchron. Start by summoning it. That it adds Unclasped Parade to hand. Once Unclasped Parade is in the hand, you can use it. Summon its effect, adds a card to the graveyard as a bonus. From here we have Gear Gigant X, and Gear Gigant X can add the Revolution Synchron. Another neat interaction, in this particular case we have the Revolution Synchron in hand, but we don't have a level 4 in the field. But since we do have the King Regulus, and Machina Gear Frame is a union monster, you can use their interaction. Since Machina Gear Frame is now equipped, it can summon itself, you now have a level 4 in the field. Other interactions, Harvester can be at any time converted into an Anchor Drill. So start by summoning the Harvester, go through the usual infinite track combo, summon Brutal Dozer, summon a level 5. In this specific case, we want to use Trencher. That gets Riverstone, but this can add any card to the hand or graveyard, so we send Anchor Drill. Since we now have Anchor Drill in the graveyard and Trencher, we can now summon Anchor Drill. That will work as our level 4 for the combo, but it will also get a special summon out of the hand. So since we still need Revolution Synchron, we can use this to summon Metal Cruncher, and Metal Cruncher can always search Revolution Synchron. Again, from this point, we have the level 7 combo, continue as normal. Do keep in mind that you can't summon Psychic End Punisher because of Brutal Dozer's effect. Last thing I want to show off is this very rare combo if you have a Karakuri Gemma and a Vonus Elf in hand. Again, this is a rare combo, but it's so unintuitive compared to the rest of the combos that I'm showing it off anyway. In this particular case, instead of going straight for Premature Dragon, we want to go to the level 4 Synchro. So we start off by getting Gamma on the field, and we want to be rotating. If we don't already have bonus of the missing seedlings in hand, we want to be getting to it. Then from here, we use seedlings to summon itself. Now we have level 4 on the field. We can go into Morphtronic Earphone, which can become a tuner. Then we use Awakening Forest to summon back to level 3. So now we have the level 7 combo. And Awakening Forest send Revolution Synchron, so that can be summoned later on. From here, we go to Power Tool Dragon as normal. Until we get to... Yep, Gamma. Again, Power Tool Dragon tries to add a second Premature Burial. In this case, it did. Once we get here, we get to draw 2. Standard combo, standard combo. This is different. Because we had a Gamma already in the graveyard, we now don't have enough to summon from the deck. Yes. So instead of going through the level 9 Karakuri, we just go straight to Power Tool Braver Dragon and keep the level 8 on the field. From here, equip everything as Power Tool as normal and equip Morphtronic Earphone to Power Tool Braver Dragon. The effect doesn't matter, but it can be used as a discard option for Braver Dragon instead of getting rid of any of these 3 equips. This is the combo where the combo would end if you're unlucky, but in this case we do have a Premature Burial left, so we can use the get back a Revolution Synchron and go into power as Psychic End Punisher. In the main deck, we have triple Revolution and Synchron and triple Tuning. We could also run on your marks, get ready, get set, duel, but doing calculations, it's not quite worth it. We have triple Machine of Redeployment, Metal Cruncher, triple Gearframe, and a preferred target unclassed array, and its preferred target Machine of Citadel. For Infinitrax, we have the triple Heavy Forward and one each of Anchor Drill, Harvester, Brutal Dozer, Trencher, and Tunneler. We also run, for searchable reasons, a Tyrian King Regulus, it's an Omni-Negate, and Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, it's a combo extender sometimes. Do keep in mind that Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede's level modulation is very useful, but locks you out of the battle phase. This is what I would personally call the worst card in the deck. If you're looking for something to cut, this would be the card. Vonasoft of the Flourishing Hills, Vonasoft of the Missing Seedlings, Vonasoft of the Awakening Forest, very often the best cards in the deck. Which is why I run as most as I can. Sphinx Of The Cycle is the ideal Vonasoft of the Awakening Forest send target. Vonasoft of the Awakening Forest cannot send Machine of Citadel. This is not a normal summon. We have triple Foolish Burial Goods to send Clockwork Knight to get any of the needed cards into a hand. Small World works in the same way. Usually you'll be using Small World to get a Phronoself or one of these hand traps if you have nothing else you need. Machina Overdrive works as either a Geki on your opponent's turn by summoning Machina Citadel. If it's in the graveyard, you can use it to get a +1. And yet, it's still not the best card to include in the deck. It's good enough. Finally, we have the engine pieces. All of these are mandatory. We have triple Karakuri Gamma, triple Premature Burial, and one each of Super Magic Sword of Raptureness, Metal Silver Armor, and Life Extreme. These 3 equips can be whatever you want. These are the 3 that I find personal best. As interruption, we use Kamungus the Kaiju because it's an odd type. It works as a small world bridge. 3 Nibiru, 3 Droll Knockboard, 1 Mulchami Perulia, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 1 Buck of Moon because it's searchable by Sphinx of the Cycle for free. In the extra deck, we have the basic combo of Power Tool Dragon, 2 level 8 Karakuri Beredo, 1 level 9 Karakuri Berebu, and Power Tool Braver Dragon. We have the possible extensions of Psychic End Punisher and Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. We also, for combo reasons, have Infinitrack Riverstormer, Gargant X, and Morphtronic Earphone. Finally, we have just generics to go into if you have the extra cards laying around. Figures Merrymaker because it can go into Gigantic Champion Sagas to search Tyrian King Regulus. Divine Dragon Knight Felground because you will very often have 2 level 8s but want one of them in the graveyard, usually Sphinx of the Cycle. That hints Felground because it can discard material during your turn. And we have rank 10s Super Draw, which can go into Juggernaut Leap. In the sides, for when we want to go first, we have a second Machina Overdrive. Again, this could be cut. Mischief the Gnomes, this works as a Foolish Burial Goods target and is a good card in general. Mistaken Rest works like a draw but better. And if we're going second, we have Machine of Ruin Force. You can swap out Machine of Citadel for it. Machine of Ruin Force is very good if you get to the battle phase. Origin Schedule, if the opponent has any monsters out, you can summon 2 from the deck. This can make Psychic End Punisher, but that will require that you have less life points than your opponent, which is not always guaranteed. Dark Willow No More and Guardian Slicer. In case you're wondering the numbers, why it's 60 cards, I have run all of the numbers through the Yu-Gi-Oh! Consistency Simulator to try optimize the deck. 60 cards is best, and the chances of generating the full Power Tool Dragon combo going first is 83% and 90% going second. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the deck? I don't know. It's hard to judge the overall power level as I'm still fairly new to Genesys. It's not dominating, but it's not losing a lot either. If you're able to play uninterrupted, it's got both a strong end board, multiple disruptions, a monster targeting lock that many decks can't overcome, and there's several monsters that return from the graveyard, so it still excels in the long game. However, the combo is weak to all kinds of interruption. Effect negation, monster destruction, can play around the bureau, and draw and lockboard usually stops the combo before it starts. Fauna subs are great for continuing an interrupted combo if you hard draw them, and sometimes you just get lucky with what the opponent negates, but it's still the deck's clear weakness. And because it's 60 cards instead of 40, the odds of drawing the good hand traps are significantly reduced. It really doesn't fare well going second. That all being said, I really can't say how all of this works out compared to other Genesys decks right now. It'll take a lot more games to figure this out, and I prefer to get this video out sooner than later. But in any case, it's fun to play. There's a lot of different interaction between the main deck archetypes, and against slow decks, it produces a lot of good back and forth games, and it's very Genesys exclusive. It's completely different to how Up Machine plays in other formats. Yeah, I suppose that's it. Like I said, this is my first time making this kind of video, so I don't know how to end it. Bye.